Think you made that decision. You think you chose that person, that job, that opinion on your own. Freely, rationally, based on logic. But what if I told you, you didn't? What if your brain has been running hidden programs, mental shortcuts so deeply embedded that you don't even know they exist, and they have been quietly steering every major decision of your life? These aren't conspiracy theories. These are called cognitive biases. And they don't care how smart you are. They don't care how educated you are. They work on everyone all the time. Stay until bias number 6 because that one is operating in your life right now, today, in ways that are going to genuinely shock you. Welcome back to the Thinking Brain. This is where we break down the psychology behind why you think, feel, and behave the way you do, in a way that actually makes sense for your real life. Today we're going deep into 7 cognitive biases, mental blind spots your brain has that silently shape your choices, your relationships, your beliefs, and even your perception of reality. And the scariest part? The more confident you are in your thinking, the harder these biases hit. Let's get into it. Bias number 1. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is your brain's tendency to search for, favor, and remember information that confirms what you already believe, while ignoring everything that contradicts it. Think about the last time you had a strong opinion about something. Did you go looking for evidence that you were wrong? Or did you unconsciously collect every piece of information that proved you were right? This is why 2 people can look at the exact same situation and walk away with completely opposite conclusions. They're not seeing the same reality. They're each seeing the version their brain already believed in. And in real life, this is why relationships stay toxic longer than they should. Your brain keeps finding evidence that the person is good, while dismissing every red flag that says otherwise. You are not looking for the truth. You are looking for confirmation. And your brain is very, very good at finding it. Bias number 2. The Dunning-Kruger Effect. This one will make you look at certain people very differently. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias where people with limited knowledge in a subject massively overestimate their competence. Meanwhile, the people who actually know the most tend to doubt themselves the most. In other words, the less you know, the more confident you feel. And the more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know. This is why the loudest person in the room is rarely the most knowledgeable one. Someone who read one article on a topic may argue harder than an expert who spent years studying it. And here's the uncomfortable question. Where in your own life might you be the person who only read one article? Bias number 3. The sunk cost fallacy. This bias is responsible for more wasted years, broken relationships, and bad investments than almost any other on this list. The sunk cost fallacy happens when you continue doing something not because it's still good for you, but because you've already invested so much time, money, or emotion that stopping feels like losing. You stay in the bad relationship because you already gave it 5 years. You keep watching the terrible movie because you already paid for the ticket. You stay in the wrong career because you spent 4 years getting the degree. But here's the truth. Your brain refuses to accept. The time, money, and energy you already spent are gone. Walking away doesn't lose them. They were already lost the moment things stopped working. The real question is this. How much more are you willing to lose just to feel like you didn't already lose? We're halfway through, and biases 4, 5, 6, and 7 are where things start to get really personal. Especially bias number 6. This one is affecting your life right now in real time, and most people have absolutely no idea. Bias number 4. The negativity bias. Imagine someone gives you 10 compliments and 1 criticism. Which one do you remember at 2 in the morning? The criticism. Every time. That's not weakness. That's your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. Negativity bias is your brain's natural tendency to give much more weight to negative experiences than positive ones. From an evolutionary perspective, this made sense. Missing a threat could be deadly. Missing an opportunity was just unfortunate. But in modern life, this same wiring causes you to replay painful memories, overthink small problems, and struggle to feel satisfied even when your life is going well. Research suggests it can take around 5 positive experiences to emotionally balance out just one negative one. Your brain is literally built to feel bad more easily than it feels good. That's not a personal failure. That's biology. Bias number 5. The halo effect. Have you ever met someone attractive and instantly assumed they were also smart, kind, and trustworthy before they even spoke? That's the halo effect. When one positive trait about someone, their appearance, confidence, or success, causes your brain to assume they must also have many other positive traits. One good quality casts a halo over everything else. This is why charismatic people get away with so much. It's why we trust well-dressed strangers more than casually dressed ones. It's why celebrities' opinions carry weight even on topics they know nothing about. And in relationships, the halo effect is why people ignore major red flags early on. You're not just falling for the person. You're falling for the halo your brain created around them. Bias number 6. The availability heuristic. This is the one I promised you. The availability heuristic is your brain's tendency to judge how likely something is based on how easily an example comes to mind, not on actual probability. For example, after seeing news about a plane crash, flying suddenly feels extremely dangerous, even though statistically, driving to the airport is far more dangerous. If you hear about a robbery in a neighborhood, that place can feel dangerous for years, even if it was a rare event. Your brain isn't calculating real statistics. It's asking a simpler question. How quickly can I think of an example? If the example comes quickly, the brain assumes it must be common. If it's hard to recall, the brain assumes it's rare. In today's world, the news, social media, and algorithms constantly feed you vivid and emotional stories. And your brain uses those examples to build your entire perception of reality. You don't see the world exactly as it is. You see the world as your most recent and emotional memories have painted it. Bias number 7. The bandwagon effect. This one is operating on a massive scale in the world today. The bandwagon effect is the tendency to adopt beliefs, behaviors, and opinions simply because many other people already have them. If everyone around you believes something, your brain slowly starts to believe it too. Not necessarily because the evidence convinced you, but because the social pressure of being different feels uncomfortable. This instinct goes back to our evolutionary past. Being rejected by the group once meant serious danger. So your brain learned a simple rule: agree with the group and stay safe. But in the modern world, this means many of your opinions, trends, and beliefs may not have come from careful thinking at all. They may have simply come from the crowd. The most independent thinking you will ever do begins with one uncomfortable question. Would I still believe this if nobody around me believed it? So what do you do with all of this? The goal is not to eliminate cognitive biases. That's impossible. Your brain will always take shortcuts. The real goal is awareness, because an unseen bias controls you completely. But a bias you can recognize gives you a chance to pause, question it, and choose differently. When you feel absolutely certain about something, ask yourself if you've actually looked at the other side. When you're staying in something that clearly isn't working anymore, ask yourself whether you're staying for the future or just because of what you already invested. And when everyone around you believes something, ask yourself whether you would still believe it if you were completely alone. You can't eliminate every bias, but you can slow down enough to stop them from quietly making your decisions for you. Here's what I want you to remember. Your brain is not broken. It is not your enemy. These biases exist because for most of human history, they helped humans survive. They are fast, efficient mental shortcuts. But the world you live in now is very different from the world these shortcuts evolved for. And the gap between those two worlds is where problems appear. The people who understand their own mental blind spots are the ones who make better decisions, build better relationships, and live with more intention. And by watching videos like this, that is exactly the kind of person you are becoming. So tell me in the comments, Which bias hit you the hardest? And share this video with someone who needs to see it. Subscribe for more psychology insights, and I'll see you in the next one.